to our show today. My name is Cindy Speaker. I have with me as my guest attorney Nathan Guin. Nathan, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, Cindy. How you doing? It's been a little bit, but I'm glad to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you too. We're having some bad weather up here in Philadelphia. How you guys doing down there?
Uh, it's about 65 and sunny outside, so not quite as bad as the nor'easters are
Oh,
getting.
that's nice. That's nice. Well, we're going
I'll
to talk
send some
about,
of it up there to you.
yeah, right. That'd be good. We're going to talk about veterans' disability claims today. We're going to
Mhm.
talk about what kind of information and documentation that a veteran needs to bring to you guys in order to properly evaluate their case.
Exactly. Mhm.
Okay. So let's start off here with the first question. When can I go to an attorney to help me with my VA claim?
So technically speaking, you can call an attorney at any time, but as far as the VA goes, an attorney can't be engaged or you can't have a contract with a veteran to help them with their disability claim until they receive their initial rating decision. So generally speaking, sometimes why people call and say, hey, I want to put in a claim or I put in a claim and I want y'all to take my case, and we'll have to say, well, when you get a rating decision, that's really the first thing we need is a current decision. It doesn't even have to be a rating decision. If you've already appealed one on your own and you get a statement of the case or even a BVA decision, and at that point you say you want an attorney, that's when you can engage an attorney really anytime after your initial rating decision is granted or denied. Whenever you get that, you can engage an attorney from there.
Okay, let me just understand that. So the veteran needs to apply for veterans disability benefits themselves first
Right. So
and get
legally,
that
it has to
decision.
be
I see.
exactly. It has to be the veteran themselves who
I see.
put in the applications. Same thing with Social Security. There's just a statutory bar to anybody else being able to do it on the front end.
Okay.
So it has to
Okay.
be the initial application of the veteran themselves, and then they'll get an initial decision, usually in about 4 or 5 months, maybe a little
Okay.
bit less. And at that point, that's when they can call us and say, and really say, hey, I want someone to take my case, and we can really look at it and potentially take it.
Okay. Now, what other documents would they need to bring you in addition to the
So
ratings decision?
depending on what the case is, if it's for service connection, it's always helpful for a veteran to get their claims file. That would be, you request that from the VA, and that is super helpful because it's basically the VA's file on you. Anything and everything about you, in your service, post-service, whatever you've submitted to them, whatever they've sent to you, that is everything that they've got. So that's really helpful, and a lot of veterans don't know to get that or how to get that, but it's pretty simple. Freedom of Information Act request, you can just send it to the VA and they're required to release it to you. Those are always really helpful if you have it on the front end for increases. If you're already service connected, the claims file is a little less relevant at that point. So what you'd really want is current or the most recent medical records you can get, so that we can evaluate them versus the diagnostic code and what the VA evaluated and making their decision to see, hey, can we get you an increase? Do we need to get an opinion on this? Does it look like this is maybe going somewhere? So depending on what the case is, we would want different information,
Yeah.
but that's generally what we would look for.
And I would guess that if they call you, you're going to kind of tell them that what they need relevant to their specific situation.
Right. Basically, what they'll do is they call in and we have an intake sheet that we take in, and then we'll get their initial rating decision. I'll review that because a lot of times that's all they have at the time
Yeah.
is the decision. Hey, I just got a decision. I got denied. I'm upset about it, or I'm just sick of dealing with them. I'm already done with the VA.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then that's what they send in to us. And a lot of times they won't have their claims file. So a lot of it will be, hey, I reviewed it. I get where you're coming from, but there's some information I'm going to need to see, and that's where it's going to be. So we'll talk to them about what they need, how to get it.
Okay.
And if they have any questions in the meantime, they can always call us and say, hey, I got your packet in the mail. I don't understand this at all. And we can help them with all that.
Okay. So, because it does sound a little different, let me just go back again, the claims file. It
Yes.
sounds like they get the claims file themselves, or you
Right.
get it for them.
So we will give them the form that they need. We'll basically
Okay.
fill it out with their information and send it to them. They have to sign it and send it into the VA. Now,
Okay,
if
so it's a
we,
form that they send in to
right,
get
right.
this. I
It's
see.
essentially a letter. It's like a form letter that we have. And, generally speaking, like we can get the claims file, but only if we have a contract with the case. So if we take a case, we always order a claims file.
Okay.
If we're able to take one, without a claims file, then we'll, as a matter of course, order one when we take a case. Um, but generally speaking, if it's for a review and I can't take the case, off of the rating decision, I'll say, hey, we can send you the form. You just need to sign it, send it in. They'll send it to you and then let us know. So you kind of have to The veteran ends up being the middleman a little bit there, but
Yeah.
it's really the only way that we can legally get the claims
Right.
file to them is through them.
I see. Now, what about medical records? Are they in the claims file, or is that separate? They have to get medical records separate.
So service medical records, service treatment records, anything like that will automatically be in the claims file
Okay.
unless they've been destroyed or misplaced or for any reason they're not available. Any post-service records are really on the veteran to submit unless they're through the VA. So any VA treatment records are constructively in the possession of the Veterans Benefits Administration. And basically what that means is, you're two separate systems, but you're both through the VA. So if the health system has it, we assume that the benefit system has it. And so that's basically all that means. Anything that's private or outside the VA has to be submitted by the veteran, or they can sign a specific form to send to the VA, which is a release of information form that allows the VA to get those documents themselves. So if the veteran doesn't want to go down to his or her doctor, pay whatever money there might be to have to get the records, they can just fill out a specific form for the VA. I believe it's a 21-41-42, I think. But it's a release of information. You put your facilities and when you've been getting treated there, and then they can request those records themselves.
Okay, very good. And how long would you say, once they start gathering information, getting a claims file, getting medical records, all that, how long does it typically take to gather all the documentation so that they can actually be evaluated by you?
So for private medical records and things like that, it's as fast as your doctor can get them to you.
Okay.
Or as fast as you can get to them. And I think they usually process within about 30 or 45 days at the longest, maybe. I mean, I don't do a ton of records ordering, but I think that's about right. And for the claims file, that really varies. So depending on, a lot like the VA regular claims and appeals tracks go, it depends on how many C-file requests they've received, how quickly they're going through them, how voluminous these claims files are to get, and do whatever they need to do to get them on the discs and get them out. So it can take anywhere from like 2 or 3 months to it's taken to 10 to 11 months.
Wow.
It really depends in terms of kind of how that goes. But it can, if you're trying to get a claims file, like anything from the VA, it can get lengthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. Well, Nathan, let me ask you this. If anybody has questions, they want to reach out to you directly, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, so the best way to do it is to give us a call at 251-343-1111. Or you can reach us at www.gardberglaw.com. That's GARDBERG law.com. And the great thing about VA law is that if you're in Connecticut, if you're in Boise, Idaho, if you're in Washington, if you're in Alaska, it doesn't matter. You can give us a call. We're based in Mobile, but we can handle cases throughout the country for any veteran anywhere. So don't hesitate to call us, even if you're really far away. Just give us a call if you need some help, and we can answer any questions that you might have.
Fantastic. As always, great information, Nathan.
I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to get it out there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, thanks, everybody, for listening today. If you have questions, comments, you can leave them right on this page, and we'll make sure Nathan gets back to you. Nathan, good to see you again.
Good to see you, too. I appreciate it, as always.
Yep. Talk to you again soon.